All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mundo's Garden. I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I wanted to do this live, but apparently I didn't set up my channel to do that. So, anyways, I'm out here in the garden right now. I actually just wanted to show you how things have been moving. I haven't been able to get on in a while, so I'm gonna actually show you guys what we got going on here. Starting to get some cilantro coming up around the tomato I got here. I should be getting some basil up on the other side. This is the tomato. This is the Golden Jubilee. We got sweet basil. Now, this was actually from one of my starter plants. Wow, super fragrant. Get some weeds out. These are other basil plants. I threw them. Those started from seed. I'll get these weeds out in a bit. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to come out here and spend in the garden. We got Thai basil here. Wow, really good. We got that's ground creeping sage. I'm not too happy with that variety, to be honest with you. We got our marigolds. We got some there, some here, and that's kind of to keep some of the critters away. And we got yellow zucchinis here. We're getting a little bit of powdery mildew. We gotta try to treat that ASAP. And we got our tomato plants. You can see the beefsteak tomatoes right in there. Looks like they're gonna be nice and plump. Look at that. And then we got some of the, these are gonna be, looks like some Roma. These are gonna be plum tomatoes. So we got a little mix here going, different things. You can probably see that yellow zucchini over there. See if I can zoom in on it. I'll come around the other side. So yeah, we got more tomato plants here. Really, this year I wasn't able to take care of it as I have in past years. So it grew a little out of control. I've been trying to keep the I've been trying to keep these to a minimum. We have another geez, I forgot the term for it. But yeah. So you don't want to let those really grow out too much. So like this, I mean, what you typically do is you just kind of pluck it. Sucklings, that's what they're called. Sucklings, you want to get those out. I have to check this, make sure that it doesn't have any flowers. This one looks like it's fine, so I could actually take this off. And I'll think about it. I want to see how the rest of the plant's doing before I do that. Suckers, that's what they're called. Suckers, not suckling. Suckers. But as you see, there's going to be a decent amount of tomatoes here. I have tried coming out a little bit and giving it its little shake. If you do this, you know that you guys actually will up your production rates big time. This here is grapes. Okay, we got this lattice so that it can hopefully climb up and climb over. Hopefully we'll be able to get grapes coming down. This one's kind of going astray. I got to see what I can do to kind of get this going back to the right direction. But hey, that's fine. So we got our other bed here. We got massive dill. I don't know if I uploaded the video that I took earlier in the year, like when I first started out here. It was real small. There wasn't a lot of it. Look, it's already trying to go to flower. So I'm going to have to actually harvest some of this so that it doesn't try going to flower like that. I'm going to try to use this because supposedly this is a good deterrent for like small bugs and like ants and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use some of that. Maybe it'll help. This is, they have a couple different names for it, like Mexican tea or, I was just actually looking it up. I forget the names of it, but anyways, it's herb. In Spanish, we call it epazote. And what it is actually has a lot of health benefits to it. This, I believe, is some type of onion, I think. Not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Look, we got some bugs eating this up, and that's not good. So I'm going to have to check this out. But if we take a look in, it looks like we have a zucchini right there with the little wilted flower on top. That's definitely a zucchini. We got another one right there. All right, it's kind of getting a side view here, but if we get closer, you see that. All right, so more Thai basil right here. You got the marigolds. This, we got 1, 2, 3 Thai basil. I believe this is jalapeno, and yes, it is. It's jalapeno. I have another, and another. So I have like 6 jalapeno plants there. That little guy right there is a, they call it like a yellow lemon pepper. It's actually an Ecuadorian pepper. It's I might have some stuff from last year where it shows it, but definitely a nice variety. Has nice heat to it, decent flavor. That's looks like a tomato that one of the critters got to before we did. When you get your weeds out, try to get them from the roots. We got some more cilantro here. We got to get some of these weeds out. I've had some mushrooms grown in here. I don't know what's going on with that, but don't eat that. Asparagus. And then we got more zucchinis over here, and this is another bed. So I've got 1, 2, 3 beds here. I have what I created a little bed out of, just something that somebody was throwing away, so I created a little bed out of it for watermelon and cantaloupe. There's only one plant that survived, and that's the cantaloupe. So we'll see how that's going to be doing. We got, so in this bed again, we got more zucchini. Look, we have more powdery mildew. We're going to have to really get rid of that. And another one over there in the other bed has some powdery mildew that it's dealing with. So we're going to have to handle that, and hopefully I'll be able to do a video on when we're handling that. So down here we have some basil. All right, so we have some basil. I found some weeds over here, trying to swoop in. That's actually a tomato plant, and I'll put that back in a second. Anywho, that thing's not going to survive there, so I'm going to have to actually change its spot. We got more little basil seedlings coming out, and then we got this this nice basil here, very fragrant. It's doing lovely. We have one of the tomato plants right here. We got some little young stuff. I might have to clip some of this because that could cause problems. So again, look, do the little shaking. I got a cage on this one, so I could actually technically do that, but we typically want to get like kind of like a little flick, so it kind of like just shakes, okay? But if you actually take a look, we got some little guys in here. Now these are going to be like your, I believe these are going to be like the beefsteak variety. But again, I mean, look at the amount of flowering that we got going on here. So, I mean, we should be looking pretty good. Look at that. We got these guys right here. There's one. Look at those guys in there. I mean, things are looking good, you know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this back a little bit, because I got a pepper plant here that is not gonna be able to really do a whole lot. It's not gonna get enough sunlight, so I'm gonna have to trim some of this back to make sure that I'm getting enough light for all these plants. I didn't realize, so what happened actually here was I put like 3 or 4 zucchini plants in here, which I'm realizing was a bit too much. The problem is I started getting some little baby ones, and I think they're actually zucchini also, but I don't know where they came from exactly. I know that sounds weird, but I think they may be seeds from some of the stuff last year, because this garden bed we actually used to essentially create a compost for most of our stuff here. We have some more Thai basil. It's actually not, this one's not quite as fragrant as I typically like. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, if you can get them out like that, that's good. We got some garlic right here, actually. That helps deter some of the guys, some of the pests. We got more tomato here, and this one's still young. I'm gonna actually have to get in there. We gotta fix this. This is not looking right. Then we got more powdery mildew over here. But I mean, if we want to look, even though we're getting some powdery mildew, we're still getting some crops. See, like there's a young leaf, so that's going to be fine. I'm going to have to trim off some of these damaged leaves and get something that's antifungal also. Okay, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and take care of it like that. But I want to get in here. So we have the yellow over there. I think this one's green, so you can see that little guy there. See that little guy there. I think I have a couple more there, but if we come here, oh, look at that. Oh, we got a broken leaf here, but if we look right underneath that, that's a nice one right there. It's probably about as thick as my finger or so. Then we have another yellow one here. Oh, look at there, right there. So this is where I'm trying to get in, because I want to show you guys, like these leaves are actually coming off of this plant. And if I'm not mistaken, sorry, let me get some of these weeds out. This is actually, to be 100% honest, this is looking like cucumber. So this is not zucchini, this is actually cucumber that somehow grew in here. This is one of those baby ones that I was talking about, and here's another one here, and you can tell it's cucumber, because it's cucumber or melon or watermelon. And the reason we can tell is because those plants, those typical cucurbits, will grow like a vine, and I'll show you what I mean over here. So we're gonna step over to where we have our actual cucumber plant. Okay, so here's our cucumber plant, and if you don't believe me, we got some cucumbers right there. I mean, we got more of them. I got to take care of some of this stuff. Like, this is dying out. I try to get rid of some of those dying leaves, because what plants will sometimes do is they'll try to actually fix some of its dying parts rather than putting off new growth. So, but if we look at this new growth, okay, you see it. Oh, look at that, guys. That's a cool little looking guy. But you see how it has this like fuzzy stuff on it, right? And this is where it's growing from. Okay, it's growing from its tips. We have another end over here that's where it's growing from. Looks like another end here where it's still growing. It has that little fuzzy stuff, okay? Now, if we go back to the one that I was just showing you, we'll see that we have, all right, we have that little fuzzy stuff right here where it looks like this is a growing point. It's going to keep growing off of here. If we look here, we have this here, and then we have this here. So it looks like it's going to keep trying to grow from those points. That's leading me to believe. So it's like growing like a vine. As you see, it's like a vine, right? And it's going in its different directions. It puts off many vines at once. So like I said, it's either a cucumber or it's some type of melon. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. Now we're going back to the first garden bed that we started at, where we started over there with the basil. We're having issues again with the powdery mildew, okay? And we want to take care of this because we don't want this affecting the rest of the plant. Okay, we already have some young little zucchinis, yellow zucchinis coming off of this. So we have 3 zucchinis already coming off of this thing right now. So we want to try to take care of those, okay? Now, here we have more tomatoes. You know what? And I don't think these are going to be Roma variety. I think these are going to be also the beefsteak variety. It looks like. And obviously we'll see some more later on. I almost feel like maybe all of my Romas died out. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'll probably try to put out a couple more later on. But yeah, so that's that one. So I've got those 3 taken care of. We had mustard leaves in this bed, and look, I mean, it's falling apart, unfortunately, but this is definitely cucumber. This I know is cucumber, and you're seeing this thing again. So because we already have quite a few cucumbers, to be honest with you, I'm hoping that other one over there, those little ones that are popping out in the middle over there, are maybe melons of some sort. That's just weeds. Here we got flowers from my wife's gardens. These look like some type of like tiger lily or lilies or whatever. More flowers. I couldn't name them all. I know we have dahlias there, the pink ones. Now we do have, this was a young fig that I bought. All right. Now we do have kids in the house, so I decided to, try to protect this a little bit. And so we put like a little double barrier here. And yes, I need to de-weed time and time again. I'll only remove this and like remove the tire and trim, with my edger around it, and then I'll throw the tire back on, and I leave this on all the time now, and that just kind of helps protect it from the kids wanting to be nosy and curious and just try to get all up in there, and end up accidentally killing one of the plants or something to that event. This is cantaloupe. So I'm actually wondering, based on the looks of it, to be honest, it looks like that might be cantaloupe or watermelon over there. That's actually growing in the middle. The leaves actually look a little more similar to this. So I'm going to say maybe it's cantaloupe, hopefully. Now this year we did put cherry in. Yeah, we're doing some work out here. So we've actually been breaking down some beds and stuff. Some of it actually we're going to be using some of the wood for the garden, which I highly recommend doing. If you have scrap wood around, try to use that stuff. That's what we do. We try not to spend too much on the garden. This is a cherry tree. We did get like a dozen or so cherries off it, which was pretty cool. This one really upsets me. So my kiwi plant is this, and it was a lot bigger, and I accidentally hit it with the weed whacker. So please be careful. Please protect your plants with something. I didn't have something that really stood out. So once it gets a little bigger, obviously I can mulch it. For now, we're keeping those bricks around it. This is all corn. Okay. And what we do is we harvest leaves and we use them to make tamales. We have a nectarine. This is a nectarine. All right. This was the original part of it, and it dried up and died out, but it's growing again. So hopefully within a couple years or so. That's all beets. We have foxglove coming out there. Excelsior Foxglove. I'll show you the other fig in a second, and a couple other things that I have. These are, I think, flowers as well. My wife did with these. We have more zucchini, and there's going to be more of the green variety. I don't think she planted any yet. So we got, if you look in there, there's one right there. There's one right there. Nice. All right. And looks like a baby one, I see. So we got that. Doesn't look like anything else except for the marigolds, and then more asparagus that we planted over here. And we're testing the asparagus out this year. I don't know much about it, so I'm really testing it out. Just really seeing, best environments, best soil and stuff like that for it. It's really a learning process. So, I mean, I've been trying to learn a little more year and year. But to be honest with you, I'm gonna recommend garden beds over everything. Just because you control the kind of soil you have. Okay. Now we have some more cilantro here. And we just recently, I mean, you can see we just cut and harvested like a whole mess load. Now we can tell that, so I can tell that like my wife actually harvested a bunch of this, and we always want to try to go like above these little knots, and it doesn't look like she did that everywhere, but you always want to try to go above the knots. It's easier for it to put off more afterwards. When you start seeing leaves that are like this, as opposed to this, you know that the plant's trying to go into its flowering stages, and that's fine. We still trim it down, and we'll get like a couple more harvests off it. Now, what I'm doing is, as you see, I've put more cilantro seeds out, and then here I'll probably, after this final harvest here in this one, I'll probably pull them all out and maybe do another, throw another bunch of seeds down in a week or two, and that way we can have more steady. And I would say maybe keep them like a week or two apart. Every 2 weeks, throw some seeds down, and that way you guys can continuously have harvest. Now I can show you right here. These were actually, this is all cilantro as well. And if you see here, these are the seeds. Okay, all these are seeds. I've seen the bees out here pretty busy. So what I do, look at the amount of seeds I have right there. So that I can use some for coriander, and the rest of it, you want to wait till it dries up and it's ready to fall off, and you pull it out. I'm going to have seeds, plenty of seeds to plant more next year. I mean, it's massive amounts. Okay. We have mint growing in here, and we'll do the same thing with the mint. And then, we have some garlic. We have onions, and look, the onions are trying to put seeds off. Okay, so I believe that this is onion seeds that are going to come from that, and if that's the case, then we have a lot more to plant next year. Now these are coming out a little late, and I'm going to have to start splitting them up now. I can't really wait too much longer. All of these are actually Thai basil. Thai chili peppers, so they're bird's eye chili peppers. And all these plants, I'm going to have to split them up because their growth is getting stunted. I mean, there's massive amounts of them. It's way too many. What I'm actually trying to do is collect new seeds year after year. So I want seeds from the year before, and then seeds from this year, and I'm going to keep them essentially in some type of organized records, and eventually create my heirloom variety, right? So it's going to be heirloom, because it'll literally be from the same seed going on year after year. So that's what I'm hoping to create there. And then it looks like we're gonna have more. I mean, and we've already eaten plenty, but it looks like we're gonna have another nice batch of. I see you peeking through. We got some weeds hiding in there. We'll have to get that out later. But all these are strawberries, so we'll have batches of strawberries. Not only do I have them there, but I also have them over here. Batches of strawberries and starting to put off runners. I'm going to see if there's a way for me to get all these runners into containers and create a steady supply for my home of strawberries for years to come. So this is my lime tree. We brought it out a little too early. That's why it's very bare. So as you see, all the leaves fell off almost, right? It's putting off a couple new leaves here and there. But surprisingly enough, it's putting off flowers. That actually surprised me. I thought that because of all that leaf loss, I thought it wasn't going to be able to put out like flowers still. And so we'll see if we can actually, you got some open right there. And so we'll have to see if we can actually get that. See, this one that still has all its leaves hasn't actually put any flowers off, which I think is actually kind of bizarre, but nonetheless, we'll keep an eye on everything and see how everything continues producing. And this is the last thing. It's the other fig tree that we have going. We bought this one. It was a little larger when we got it. So it's looking good. I would assume that hopefully next year maybe we can get at least a couple fruits off it. But anyways, thank you guys. If you have any questions for me, comments, suggestions, anything, please put them in the comment section. I'm really trying to put out stuff. Really right now it's more about updating you right now, but I try to throw some information out there, and I'll hopefully be able to do a couple videos giving a little more information, doing a little more in-depth, all right? But anyways, you guys stay safe during this quarantine period. Everybody stay safe. Happy gardening. Let's get it done. Let's do it together. Let's create a green planet, all right? Have a good one, guys.